Mr. Tree is a joyful and wise living tree, a being of nature who needs positive energy from society. When Mr. Black began his curse, a lot of negative energy started spreading, causing all of nature to die. This included Mr. Tree, whose leaves turned gray and trunk dark brown, nearly black, lifeless. He has a sign with a missing girl's picture, though no one knows who she might be, as only the image of a young girl can be seen in Sprunki. With so much negative energy, nature starts adapting to its surroundings, which causes Mr. Tree to adjust to the negative energy as well. This changes his once friendly appearance into something grotesque. Simon, on the other hand, is a boy with antennae, and it's assumed he could be part alien. In this phase, Mr. Black held Tree captive for a long time. Tree is crucial to ending the curse, but first, they have to rescue him. Mr. Fun Computer. Phase 1. Mr. Fun Computer is a computer that communicates through text, voice, and melodies. Although the voice has a feminine tone, canonically the character is male. He functions on positive energy, which gives him a happy, cheerful personality. Phase 2. When positive energy disappears, all technological creatures lose their power source. When trying to use negative energy instead, their appearance and personality start to deform. Mr. Fun Computer, as one of the few who could communicate, warns everyone that something is wrong and that they should escape. His message, "No one is safe and no one is real," means that some characters are now possessed by negative energy and aren't the same anymore. Phase 3. Negative energy cannot be processed by computers or other technology, so Mr. Fun Computer begins to deteriorate further. His voice slows down, and his processor is on the verge of shutting down. Phase 4. He eventually stops functioning entirely, leaving only static. Phase 1. Wenda is a cheerful, positive cat girl and gray best friend. She's the most optimistic character in Sprunki, easygoing, kind, and loves making new friends. Phase 2. When she encounters Mr. Black, all of Wenda's positive energy is drained, leaving only negative energy that shatters her sanity. She transforms into a deadly, cunning killer to be very cautious of, and would become Mr. Black's favorite. Thanks to Tunner, Wenda was able to break free from Mr. Black's mental control and return to normal. But Mr. Black noticed this and decided to eliminate her by shooting her in the head with his weapon. With the help of Tunner, the shot pierced her body. Mr. Black revived her, but not to control her. He left her alive just to suffer. Wenda is the second important piece in stopping Mr. Black. Phase 1. Pinky is a pink bunny girl, very cute and calm, with a small pink bow on her head. Phase 2. Simon would tear off her face, exposing all her flesh and causing her to lose some teeth. Surprisingly, she was still alive, but not for long. Phase 3. Durple and Simon would finish her off while she was severely wounded. She couldn't do much due to the pain, and it was inevitable for her to make noises. Simon would devour a large part of her body. Phase 4. Due to the severe damage to her body, Mr. Black would not revive her, making her the only one who could rest in peace without more suffering, unless Mr. Black decides otherwise. Jevon, a very introverted, somewhat shy boy who hates people, but only because he doesn't communicate well, which is why he's very reserved. He is blue and wears a matching hoodie to hide his face. Phase 2. Being one of the few who distrusted Mr. Black, he took action and prepared for anything that might happen, which helped him save some others, like Mr. Fun Computer, Gray, and others. His main plan was to stay in a safe place and not leave. However, the others wanted to save their friends, and Jevon was never in agreement with this idea. Phase 3. When the entire plan to save his friends failed miserably, Jevon would no longer help anyone, even though he had the ability to lock himself away. In his own world, Jevon isolates himself to stay alive. But that's not all, as you might have guessed. Now I'm going to share with you a very eerie theory. What if Gray was actually a child in a hospital, lying in a coma? The people in his coma world could be his real friends, and they're trying to help him wake up, but as Gray gets closer and closer to death, his world becomes more and more terrifying. He would be hiding from death itself. The more he tries to wake up, the more his world in the coma deteriorates and falls apart. Mr. Fun Computer, a seemingly strange character in this world, could actually represent his mother. She tells him to run, to try to escape or hide so that he won't die, because she needs him. She loves him, and losing him would be unbearable. Imagine, if you will, the possibility that this theory is true, that everything we see and experience in this world might be the manifestation of his struggle to survive, and that he's caught between life and death. What do you think? Could this actually be a hidden truth about Gray's situation? Could he really be in a coma, and his terrifying experiences be a representation of his fight to hold on to life? The next theory is quite fascinating. Wenda, as it turns out, is a canonical cat character. If we look at the characters in the horror mode of Sprunki, we can see that many of them have cuts or parts of their faces and bodies torn or damaged. These wounds could have been inflicted by Wenda since she's a cat, and cats have claws sharp enough to tear things. It's likely that in those moments she may have lost control of herself, resulting in those injuries. Additionally, I believe that Black is behind all the horror that has befallen Sprunki. Black seems to be the only one with the power to alter the game's world, suggesting a deeper role in creating this nightmarish environment. It's possible he manipulated and used Mr. Sun, Durple, Simon, and Wenda, making them his allies, or even unwitting pawns in his twisted plans. Perhaps he's guiding them or even corrupting them to carry out actions that contribute to the eerie atmosphere of Sprunki's world. Could Black's influence over these characters be the true reason behind the terrifying changes in the game? Mr. Sun could be an ally of Black because he isn't dead. In the horror version, his survival hints at a deeper connection with Black's plans. It seems that Mr. Sun's role in the game may be more complex than it appears on the surface. His continued existence might mean he is under Black's control or influence, serving as an ally rather than a victim. Durple could also be an ally of Black because, according to official information, he isn't dead in the horror version. However, he is described as unnormal, which suggests some level of corruption or moral degradation. This could imply that Durple is either actively working with Black or has been twisted by him into something unrecognizable from his original form. It's possible that his strange behavior and disturbed nature are a result of Black's influence. The next theory is about Veneria. I've always been curious about how she died. What happened to her? Didn't you find it strange that Veneria's eyes look so different in the horror mode? What exactly happened to her? This theory suggests that Wenda might have locked Veneria in a basement, and before doing so, she threw a monster snail in there with her. This snail somehow infected Veneria with a virus, which eventually led to her death. However, the snail didn't just leave her body, it slithered inside Veneria, and its eyes emerged through hers, turning her into a host. In a way, the snail became a parasite, taking over her body. Veneria is a plant, so in the horror version, she turned yellow, much like how plants turn yellow when they die. This theory raises some intriguing questions about the nature of Veneria's death and the terrifying possibilities of the snail's parasitic relationship with her. The transformation of her eyes could symbolize the merging of Veneria with the snail, further emphasizing the horror of her condition. Could this really explain her eerie appearance in the game? What do you think of this idea? Does it fit with the twisted logic of the horror version, or is there another, even darker explanation for Veneria's fate? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Do not forget to put the tricks to subscribe to the channel and watch our previous videos. Probably they will be very interesting for you because there are even more theories on our favorite game, Sprunki.